She said whether or not you can understand it or not, because this is one of those inside jokes. So now, and let's get this straight. I love you, ladies. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But when you're telling your that they poison the sun, I mean, there's a lot of sun energy there, shining bright like a diamond. However, in my particular case, they didn't try. I drank that shit. The weapons of but never prospered as a Capricorn, army dependent. I mean, years ago. It's just what it is. They saw the tarot read. They want a reading. They want services. They want what you're doing, and then they show up and let's go have wine. Well, okay, that's what it is. Simple enough. However, me, I'm kind of prone to waking up in Hooters Las Vegas Resort and Casino with a girl that I've been dating for years that was the Spanish translator at the Catholic Church going, oh my God, what am I witnessing right now? And she's absolutely nuts. She's absolutely nuts. So she was a good time, but she was absolutely nuts. So, nobody will ever believe anything that she says about that situation. And I know it to be true. I know it to be true that something very, very paranormal happened and no one would fucking ever believe her story. So I created a business around that. What did it involve? It involved Reiki. With Reiki being in my birth chart and the healing power that the Son of God, the old Jesus, possessed. I thought, well, it's kind of already partial to it since it's written in the stars. Maybe that's a good path to take. It's destined. We'll just take that destined path. And then that group that, and we won't name her names. If you want to hear the reading, I'm more than happy to share with you. However, the reading here this morning, she's like, make it. They tried to poison the sun. Okay, let's make sense for that. They may have tried again, but at once I failed at it. So if I failed at it, I know that they do. Simple enough. Anyways, in a group, there was some paranormal shit happening. Y'all were talking about whatever. Anyway, I ended up with 5-star Jesus. He's a student of mine. He's in my reviews. We ended up with that Scorpio death energy. And then, poof, wouldn't you know, went against Gaia, a marketing company that I had. And then the market crashed. Beth Todd, he got sick. He was the boss man for Gaia Media. 50 years in business, one of the number one groups, and the market crashed, and so did he. Now, I mean, having QHHT as a backup plan, we went with that, and then there were weird things happening over at the other location, and I decided, well, since the family's moving, since the family's all moving out, it's just what it is. I can just put an end. I can put an end to that location of everything and then weird shit stopped happening at the home. It was really weird shit was happening here, which is why I got the location. And then you raise the vibration and you get rid of the extra location that you don't need, and weird shit stops happening at the house. So that was cool. Everyone was gone. It's like once everyone's gone, the weird shit stops happening. So we were good with that. And then it was in the cards at that time, it was try to cut the son's life short. I believe y'all were talking about voodoo. I made a clip about it, the headaches and the aggravation in the heart space. Things that actually wasn't that big a deal, but there was voodoo in the cards having issues. So I'm having issues with voodoo in the cards. And I guess that was right around October of last year. Yeah, right around October of last year. I guess. Don't quote me on the dates. It's been a fucking year. It's just what it is. If you can remember what you did in October of last year, let me know. Anyway, we do know that that's when the wrong dead dad for Thanksgiving energy was in the collective. And I mean, you already said that was a group collaboration of getting together and trying to take out the sun. And then it backfired because they were going to be broke and homeless and blah, 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 blah. That's what you say. That's what you say. I don't know. I don't know what happened or what you're saying to be true. However, I can tell you we had the wrong dead dad for Thanksgiving. So if it's the wrong dead dad and you're saying it's a backfire, well, then they were probably trying to go after one dad that's of the light, that's protected, that's of the light. That's of the light. And then the wrong dad, yeah, everything changes. So, and there's part of your collaboration. There's part of your entity attachments because my light triggers their demons. And they do. They get started as soon as we wake up. As soon as that energy that y'all are talking about in the cards, yeah, because they want to make sure those notifications come in to trigger us. They're trying. That was a notification that just came in. They want to trigger us. Since our light triggers their demons, they have to use notifications to trigger us, trip us up while we're talking, try to silence us, things like that. And the fact that, you know, the whole YouTube platform would be a part of it, getting karma, because they're no different than the U.S. market. They're no different than Gaia Media. Because when I hear that with Pisces, they're trying to put an end to your platform. Well, then that's just going to end up like the market crash in Gaia Media. Magically, something will just happen to YouTube, I guess. I don't know. You would have to ask the group. But, you know, I do know that right around that time, you know, and we were in prayer. We're like, hey, you know what? This shit's getting real. And no one's going to believe any of that shit because they don't want any witnesses. They want to cut a life short with no witnesses. And then they ended up with the wrong dead dad for Thanksgiving. But I learned a long time ago. Half-wits, armed and dangerous, their job is not to protect and serve. The physical, yes, but they can't do anything with the metaphysical. You have to have physical evidence. And money, that's generally physical evidence. So the more bribes that they paid trying to cover up their tracks amped up the takeout, the earth angel energy. And I don't think they were expecting me to get off on that shit. Anyway, so while I'm looking for this earth angel that gets off on being targeted and people trying to sacrifice them and whatever that nonsense is, the universe gave us happy, healthy die, my friend. It's just what it is. They wanted to put an end to the QHHT business, quantum healing hypnosis technique, the Dolores Cannon method. As a level 2 practitioner, you know, they wanted to put an end to that because we had some weird energies going on, and it was in the cards. If you go back in tarot, the energy readers were able to read the weird energy that was in the cards. And that's when the bribing the tarot readers started, because I would promote them, and then, oh, he listens to that one, and then that would be the ones that they would go manipulate. And I knew that. I knew some would fall for it, and I knew some wouldn't. And it was kind of funny to watch some actually take the money, control the narrative, and then bloop, fucking balance it right out with the truth. Good job. Good job. Now, I wouldn't say that I would have done that, because that still makes you a part of darkness and whatever on a divine path. So there'd be some karma involved in that, I'm sure. And it's going to be God force mirror karma. So when I'm already seeing the evidence of this God force mirror karma, and I'm not immune to it. I got hurt in all of this too. Yeah. I was outside working in the yard, and there's a wasp nest, and I was thinking of getting rid of the wasp nest, and I ran, and I kind of bumped into something. I ran from wasps, and I bumped into something. So I mean, I got injured too in all of this. I mean, let's face it. The healer got hurt too. So don't fucking get all in your panties about all this. Anyway, yes, that energy of reversing an age, that's what happens when you're on your path. Dolores Cannon can teach you that. Does it make you immune? Does it make you immune to Amun's son? It doesn't make you a monsoon, but unless you're a storm angel, but the storm hasn't came yet because these people are being given every chance to stop, and they won't. They're still trying to sacrifice earth angels and cover up their tracks while we activate ancient energies within ourselves. And it's what it is, 11:11. I missed it. But I was also talking, so I guess that's my fault. I can't tell you my intuitive hit when I'm running my mouth. Only Lyra Ray could do that shit. Lyra Ray, the Princess of Pleiades. She has a channel on YouTube too. She hasn't posted anything in years. And I mean, I guess being in Las Vegas, that would be the perfect place to come up missing as a beautiful woman. It's just what it is. I don't know. You'd have to go talk to that group of individuals that are sacrificing star seeds for their spiritual gifts and speaking the truth. That's what it is. That would be that group you would need to go talk to. Can't talk to Lyra Ray because I can't find her. She hasn't posted anything 3-5 years. She's still on YouTube, and you've got light language schools and all these people that are just popping up with content that's on her channel. That's what kind of made me think that that's what they were doing. They were taking out creators so that they could copycat their work, their authentic work. But anyway, I can't do anything about that. Now, you have been saying, and I mean, she was the reader I was just listening to. She nailed all of the signs, the ones that we knew were for car wreck spells, the ones that we knew were for voodoo. And when you say Virgo, I mean, you're not talking about the 3-star Virgo that's in my 5-star reviews. And when you were talking about Virgo was trying to poison someone, is that why when she asked me what I wanted, where I like to eat, what kind of restaurant did I like to eat at? Is that because she was from another state, wanting to come here for services, and then what do you like to eat? Well, I mean, I don't like to eat with clients because they tend to poison me. So it's what it is. And then you're this morning talking about a Virgo trying to find a way to cover up their tracks and poison the sun. So it just does. It makes me wonder. You're not talking about the 3-star apology, 5-star Virgo in my comments or my reviews on Google, are you? It's not who you're talking about this morning, are you? Doesn't matter. I don't care. And you were right. She was like, yeah, the sun just doesn't care anymore. And no, I don't, because I know that God force mirror karma. I'm already seeing the evidence of it. Pisces, pay attention to the chaos energy around you. Well, yeah, I mean, the ambulance has already visited the school across the street 3 times this week. And it's what it is. And I mean, you got to think it's going to be signs from the universe that mirror back to these people, whether it be animals, the spiritual meaning of animals. So when someone tells you, we're having an issue here, there, or yonder ways with this type of animal, it's the universe sending you a sign, because nothing happens by chance. Everything happens for a reason, and there's no such thing as a coincidence. And it's God force mirrored. I mean, the same way we were able to move around, jump around, the same way we were able to jump around all of their obstacles, now that energy is going to be mirroring back on them in a group, gaggle, hive, herd, community. And it's just what it is. I mean, if individuals in the community were trying to cost you money, and it would be broke down into love, light, health, wealth, or abundance. Whatever they tried to affect of those core 5 influence, if they tried to affect your love, their love will be affected. If they tried to affect your light, they only affected their own. If they tried to affect your health, you have to be nice to the animal creatures. It's just what it is. You try to run from some wasps, you'll bump your ribs. You damn sure will. It's just what it is. So if they tried to affect your health will be affected. If they try to affect their wealth will be affected, and abundance, because it was a horrible destiny swap gone wrong. And yes, lives were lost. I mean, when a reader says, Pisces, every time these witches get together and do their spell work, a natural disaster happens. Well, okay, I just look for natural disasters. And then, you get Lake Isabella earthquake in California on Mother's Day. And I mean, my ex-wife, that was her daughter's name was Isabella, but that was a stepdaughter thing. So that's karmic situation. Lake Isabella earthquake on Mother's Day. That's what it is. I mean, the reader said, 10% completion. 10%. We're down to 10%. I forgot to charge the other phone last night. I have to have a personal phone since my business number attracts a lot of fucking people that want free services, and that's fine. That's fine. When I feel like getting to them, we can do some fucking waste more of my time, effort, and energy. I'm not a free therapist. I'm five. I accept clients on the other end, and that usually comes through the QHHT website. But it's just what it is. Yeah, I can't tell people what I'm doing because you have all of these energies trying to magically fuck it up. Anyway, so now that will be going back on them and the entire group, and I do have to agree with you. I have to agree with the reader this morning that it will be mirrored karma going back to them. And now they're mad because trying to cut someone else's life short only cut their own. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said. And me staying on the QHHT path and doing something different, even though I'm still on my path, it's like time has stopped. That's what it's like. Time has stopped, right? And I mean, I'm not really aging. Gaining some weight, I knew that gaining weight for spiritual warfare would be a way of protecting myself, and they don't like Pisces spiritual protection. They just don't. But my concern when you're saying these individuals will be getting back what they put out with voodoo involved, because we had that energy of a crown. They attacked a Pisces sun's crown or an earth angel's halo or whatever. Attacking that crown activation, which is the fucking crown chakra. I mean, come on, let's use our noodles. By attacking that because they wanted to keep that divine union. They wanted to keep that divine union from happening, which has obviously happened. And exploded out. It's just what it is. I mean, I was told in New Mexico in a metaphysics shop that your crown was blown out. And I thought, yeah, well, that's just generally what happens when I get around these entities that attack my chakra system. But don't do readings in places where you pick up on the darkness you have to overcome where they sell humans on the black market. Personally, that's my personal shit. That's nobody's business. We've talked about that, and you ended up with the New Mexico deluge. So when you're talking about every time they attack the Earth Angel, and I think my personal opinion is that your elites knew of this. Your elites, because they, let's face it, millionaires don't study astrology, billionaires do. So if they were doing the insurance scams on the specific lands, whether weather manipulation or whatever that crazy shit is y'all talk about that. I just looked for sign synchronicities. We had Lake Isabella earthquake on Mother's Day. We had the devil working through Pisces toxic X on Father's Day. And I mean, when you talk about a sisterhood of witches, me as a QHHT practitioner being their karma, yeah, we were all placed in specific areas to wake up and activate at specific times and shine our light that triggers their demons. And they weren't expecting that. But I mean, our job is to stay of the light while they continue to stay in the dark about anything we do going forward. Simple enough. However, now, I mean, those were all of the warnings that came to the Earth Angels. Now, God Force Mirror Karma will be going back on the group in a myriad of different ways. Follow the signs from the universe. Animals, they'll be plagued. They'll be like lots of frogs, maybe rats, who knows? There'll be a plague of animals attacking the situation. Me, I got wasps. I did, and I ran into a van that's not supposed to be there. That van is not supposed to be there. However, you love your neighbor and you forgive them because karma's coming quick. So that's what it is. Y'all have a beautiful day. Me, I'm gonna take some rest, and I have to rest my owie. I got an owie from running from from Wasp days ago, though. Hell, I mean, I don't know how many videos I made since then, but I'm due a break. I'm due a break while all of this trying to put out the sun energy is going back on a bunch of karmics. So what it is, I'll be taking the observer role. I'll just be sitting back watching for the signs. Simple enough. Everything happens in divine right time. Namaste.